2022. It's 5:32 in the Amber Boardroom, 2400 San Bernardo Avenue. Roll call, please.
Mr. Hector J. Garcia.
I am present.
Mr. Hector J. Noyola. Ms. Monica Garcia, I am present. Mr. Guadalupe Gomez.
Present.
Mr. Ricardo Garza.
We have a quorum. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Floor.
Good evening.
Just for the record, we do not have any public comment.
Yeah,
Thank you. Okay. May I proceed?
yes, please.
Good evening, Mr. Garcia. Good evening, Board of Trustees. First agenda item, it reads, discussion and possible action to approve the annual financial audit report for the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2022. Today, we have the accounting firm of Garza Gonzalez and Associates. Today, we have Eli Mendoza and Richard Galindo who will be presenting the audit report.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ayala. My name is Eli Mendoza. Once again, I'm a partner with the firm of Garza Gonzalez and Associates, your auditors. And this is Richard Galindo. He was the audit manager responsible for supervising the audit and conducting the bulk of the work, working along with your staff here at Laredo I.S.D. And what I would like to do today is to just make a brief presentation to you. I believe you've been provided the annual financial report as well as the report on conduct. There is a separate handout that we titled the Audit Summary 2022. If you can, I'm going to make some highlights off of that report. So this is a summary, basically, of the audit results, and also we provide some highlights from your financial statements. So on page 1 is the portion dealing with the financial audit report. On number 1, we indicate that we have issued an unmodified report, which is a clean report. It's the best type of report you can receive as an audited organization. And the report basically indicates that we have audited the financial statements of the Laredo Independent School District for the year ended June 30th, 2022. And we believe that based on the information and the audit procedures that we have performed, that your numbers that are presented are fairly stated in all material respects. And the report on page 1 also of the annual financial report has changed compared to previous years. It's a little bit longer, and it provides a lot of information as far as the responsibilities of management, responsibilities of the auditors. There's got a lot more explanations in there for you to review. On item number 2 on the audit summary, we also indicate that we have issued some reports on the federal awards that are required, since the district spent a lot higher than $750,000. As a matter of fact, you had over $100 million in federal financial assistance in expenditures that you had in this previous years. But I'm pleased to report to you that based on our audit procedures, we had no material weaknesses that we detected on internal controls, no significant deficiencies, no non-compliance that we're required to report on the financial statements. With regards to the opinion on the major federal programs, also we had no material weaknesses, no significant deficiencies, non-compliance, no non-compliance items that we're required to report, and also no costs that were questioned.
Let me ask you, do you also work with our internal auditor that we have within our district?
We review the reports that they prepared, and we determine, basically, when we do our audit plan, we look at all the reports that have been issued and determine what, if anything, we need to modify or add to our audit procedures. So we did, Richard reviewed several of the reports that were issued.
From the internal auditor?
From the internal auditor, yes. Okay. Along with all the different cash
She's not here
audits
today,
that are
right?
being done.
No?
No.
Okay.
Okay, as far as the programs, as I mentioned, you had over 100 million. Actually, you had 101 million, .4 in federal programs. We are required to audit what we call the major programs, and there's a very detailed process that we follow to be able to come up with the programs that are required to be audited. And so the federal programs that we audited are listed. And you can see that on the screen, the major programs, primarily Title I, the Special Education Cluster, the ESSER 1, ESSER 2, and the Child Nutrition. Those are the programs that we audited. And then item number 4, for you to just be aware, there was an increase of about $50 million in funds that federal expenditures this year compared to last year. And the bulk of that had to do with the ESSER funds. So the ESSER, you had 30 million, a little over 30 million of ESSER 2. And then next page, you had about 26 million 414, also from ESSER 2. ESSER 3, I'm sorry. As far as your fund balance, which is what you look at as part of the budget process, your fund balance at the end of June 30, 2022 was a little over 80 million. Compared to last year, your fund balance was 87 million. So you had a decrease of about $7.5 million in the current year. And we also provide a breakdown there of the different types of fund balance. For example, your committed fund balance is a little over $11 million. And the bulk of your fund balance has to do with the unassigned fund balance, which is basically available to be budgeted for the following year, or there's a balance that's remaining from previous years.
Real quick, just hit me right now. You said we had, in the previous year, we had 87 million.
Yes,
Okay. And this year, we're at 80 million. So that's a decrease of 7 million.
yes, a decrease.
But it says
It says increase.
Here it says increase of 7.5.
That's what they're talking about. Talking about for-
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't want to be clear, but just giving me the wait.
yeah, decrease.
A decrease. Thank you. Just so that-
Yeah.
that correction.
Yeah, on item 7E, that we actually state that there's a decrease of fund balance.
Okay.
But yeah, the other line should also have read
Decrease.
decrease,
Decrease
yes.
on the number 6?
Yes, you're correct.
6B, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you.
And item 7 has a breakdown of the variances in the general fund. So you can kind of, compare those numbers, and it provides those differences. For example, I guess on the 7A, the final amended budget for revenues was 235 million, and the actual revenues was 230. And so you were under budget there about a little over 4.7 million, yes.
I have a question, more for Ms. Ayala. How's those $7 million affected the district so far?
If you notice on the commitments and assignments that we do at the end of the year, that's what we roll over for the following year. We don't always roll the same amount. We do try to keep the unassigned fund balance the same, which is the $62.7 million, because that's the amount that the credit agencies look at, and that is the amount that we use for cash flow.
Okay,
But-
so does this affect our rating? The
Keeping
decrease?
the same amount of the unassigned balance, it's a good thing,
Okay,
yes.
but, so that won't affect our rate?
And-
No,
Okay.
no, because we can justify it that we awarded some projects. We utilized for some projects.
Your fund balance is actually in good shape. We indicate in there on the little, I guess if you go to page 2,
I'm here.
up at the top where the tables are. Okay, right there, on that explanation right there, you have a fund balance enough to cover 102 days of operations. And consistent with the previous year, you had 103. GFOA, the Government Finance Officers Association, usually recommends 60 days, that you have at least 60 days of operations. You're over that amount, so that's a good thing. So you're basically able to operate, pretty consistently, and you have sufficient funds to, more than what's recommended. Okay? All right, on the debt, I'm not going to highlight too much of that, but you could kind of see that in total, you had your total long-term debt, $329 million. And so in this past year, you had an issue of a little over $46 million of that you issued.
We also paid off the QSAP.
Go ahead.
We paid off the QSAP, the $8 million QSAP. We had an outstanding QSAP that was paid off in October 2021.
All right, so the other part that I would highlight is on item 11, the overall net position of the district. When you look at the bottom line, how are you compared to last year? Your overall net position increased by $20,456,425. So it increased from the previous year, and primarily that increase had to do with changes in estimates over the liabilities that are computed, and also has to do with the retirement system, the portion that is allocable to the district. So that's pretty much what the $20 million, the bulk of that money, but overall it's an improvement in your financial position for the current year. Okay, so on page 4, there's some highlights on your handout of how the audit went. I guess we call it a report on conduct of audit, and difficulties encountered in performing the audit. Basically went well as far as the audit is concerned. We did have some challenges along with your staff in completing the audit due to the issues with your accounting system. This is your second year, I think, or the first year that you closed the books with the system. So there was some glitches in the system that had to be worked through. So your staff were pretty hard to be able to overcome those obstacles, and that was done, that was accomplished. So hopefully next year it'll be smoother, that part of it. As far as on item 2, audit adjustments, we had no audit adjustments this year. Usually we have several adjustments in a lot of our clients, so this is good. That means that you are keeping your books correctly throughout the year. As far as recommendations that we had a few recommendations, and I'm going to let Richard kind of highlight some of those for you. We had some recommendations in payroll, on the TRS employer contributions, and also some procurement procedures, and also some Title I. Or if you have questions, we can address those regarding those comments. I don't know if you have questions.
No, I don't think there's any questions.
Mr. Garcia, may I make a comment?
Please.
I would like to recognize our staff. Can you please rise and be recognized? Very hardworking group. As the auditor just explained, it was the first year we closed the books in Frontline, and it was very challenging, but with their commitment, we were able to complete the report.
And I want to also make a comment that, our experience, we have other clients with the same software, and they've also had similar challenges. But yeah, you have a good team that was able to put everything together. The report, pretty much, it's all they prepare it. They prepare 100% of it. What we do is we check all that information, we review it, we perform different audit procedures, but it's quite a bit. I mean, it's over 130-something pages, so it's quite a bit. And I think the approach, they use a team approach, different members, different people work on different sections of the report. So that's really good that
I
everybody's
have
involved.
one comment, Mr. Garcia. I do want to commend, of course, all your staff, Ms. Ayala. Obviously, year after year, you do amaze us with the amazing work that you do, because, I mean, it does take very hard work to work with numbers. I am not a numbers person, but I mean, I know people are passionate about those types of things, and kudos to you all for always, making I.S.D proud in that sense. And also, the comment that I did want to add is that we are having board members leaving, but at the same time, they are leaving with the peace of mind that they have left the books intact, because it does take a team to be able to make sure that we, every year, the decisions that we're making at the board level are always, in line with the decision-making that you are bringing forward to us, and your auditing and everything that y'all do. I mean, everything goes hand in hand, and I can't emphasize as much, thank you to Mr. Garcia for always being very fine-tuned on this. Of course, we have Mr. Garza that's, still with us here, Mr. Lupio Gomez that is sticking around as well, and Mr. Noyola that is also leaving, and Dr. Minita Ramirez that was here, before that, and we also had Mr. Noyola, que en paz descanse. I'm sorry, Mr. Valdez, que en paz descanse. But at the end of the day, it's always been, us working with you all, and it's, I mean, we might butt heads here and there because, we want to make sure projects get done or things moving forward. But at the end of the day, we always come, at cross paths and always make the best of it. Thank you to your firm for coming and auditing, because this is also, a reassurance also for I.S.D. staff to make sure that, everything that they're doing is basically in line with, all regulations and compliances that we have to have within the state and federal programs that we have. So with that being said, I don't know if anybody else has a comment. I move that we approve the.
Yeah, it was, but you said, go ahead. I haven't made a motion yet. I do want to echo what Monica said. Huh? That is the whole thing of it. Echo what she said, and, I thank you. I thank the company, auditors. I know it takes a lot of hard work and dedication and patience this year, because as we were having problems, the board was kept in the loop from the very beginning, because that's the right thing to do. But I do want to thank you all, because it was a challenge. I know you're working on Saturdays, and I know you're working late, and you're working on Sundays, and you take it home with you in your head. It was, Ms. Ayala told us over and over the work that you all were doing, so I thank you all. So hopefully next year it goes a lot smoother. I know we're going to look for, I know the board's going to look for maybe another system, but until then, I don't know. But thank you very much. Make a motion to accept the report.
Second.
There's a motion by Mr. Garza, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Gomez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Is unanimous. Thank you very much. Good work, guys. Applaud you again.
The next item, discussion and possible action to approve the recommendation or selection for the following bids, proposals, or qualifications. Purchases shall be made from appropriations in the adopted or amended budget. For this agenda item, Mr. Hector Mejia will be presenting the procurement items.
Thank you.
Good evening, Board of Trustees. Yes.
So when we approve, it's going to be 2A, 2B, 2C, 2D, and so on?
We'll go one by one.
Okay.
Because, yeah, right? That's correct. Thank you.
Okay. For item 2A, by board co-op contract 664-22 for graduation items. Evaluation Committee recommends Jostens, South Texas / high school achievements for an estimated amount of $55,000.
So move to approve?
There's a motion. Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Unanimous. Next.
Item 2B, RFP 22-025, promotional products, screen printing, and embroidery services. Evaluation Committee recommends the following 23 vendors that are published on the board book agenda. Would you like me to read all the vendors?
No.
Thank you, no.
So move to approve?
Motion to approve 2B.
Second.
Second by Mr. Gomez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Next.
Item 2C is RFP 22-023 for sanitation services. Evaluation Committee recommends Trashco for an estimated amount of $350,000.
So So move to approve.
There's a motion.
Second.
There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Next.
Item 2D from the DIR Co-op Contract DIR-TSO-4343 for Door Security Access Control Project. Evaluation Committee recommends Insight Public Sector for an estimated amount of $200,000.
So move to approve.
There's a motion. There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? 2E.
Item 2E from the TIPS Co-op Contract 210404 for integrated software. The Evaluation Committee recommends Decision Ed Group for an estimated amount of $50,000.
So move to
There's a
approve.
motion by Ms. Garcia, second by Mr. Gomez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Against? 2G.
2F.
2F.
Oh, I'm
Item
sorry,
2F is
2F.
a revision. We're revising for computer supplies, computer repair supplies, parts, staging, and installation services. We're revising the estimated amount from $425,000 to $1,253,375.
Where is the funding source, ESSER? Okay, so move to approve.
Why the big increase?
It's,
That's 2F, that's 1 million.
This is to accommodate.
Oh, wait, hold on.
the-
Motion, there's a second? Discussion.
Second that.
Go ahead.
It's for ESER 2 and ESER 3 purchases to
Okay.
accommodate for that increase.
Okay, thank you. All those in favor?
aye.
Against? Now 2G.
And 2G is the same. We're revising for computer supplies, peripherals, and related services. We're revising that estimated amount from $4,324,625 to $15,610,316.
That was a big increase.
There's a motion by Mr. Garza, second by Mr. Gomez.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Thank you. Communications? Veronica?
Does anybody have a blue pen? Jessica?
I do.
Good evening, board members. The award ceremony for LISD's Elementary Science Fair is going on right now in the Nelson Conference Center, so we'd like to go over there afterwards. And newly elected board members will be sworn in during a ceremony tomorrow, Friday, November the 18th, at 5:30 PM here in the Amber Yeary Boardroom, and then we'll have a board meeting afterwards for the reorganization of officers. And just a reminder that LISD will be closed next week, the week of November 21st, for the Thanksgiving holidays. However, the LISD tax office will be open for business on Monday and Tuesday, and then the tax office will be closed Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Classes and offices will reopen on Monday, November 28th. We are also inviting our board members to the LISD Christmas tree lighting ceremony, which is scheduled Friday, December the 2nd at 6 PM here in our beautiful courtyard. And the next regular LISD board meeting will be held on Thursday, December the 10th, here in the Amber Yeary Boardroom. And that's all I have for tonight.
Thank you. I just want to remind the board members that we got to, tomorrow before the swearing in, we have to have a quorum to accept
The
the
canvassing.
canvassing.
Okay,
Yeah, that has to go first.
all righty.
All right? Any
So
other
don't be late, Ricky. No.
No golf for me.
motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? We're adjourned.